So yeah, moving on to a more deeper and intellectually challenging topic.
Oh, we're back.
I think it's time for us to actually like talking away. Nah, it's not that. No, it's not. It's not. Yeah, fam, that was time ago. I'm not talking on stuff like that. But I think it's time for us to actually like stimulate our minds in a sense and actually talk about stuff that actually affects more than just people that we talk about in a sense. So obviously, there was a Notre Dame burning that happened. That I think it was yesterday or the day before.
Yeah, what? Yeah,
I haven't heard a lot about. I just
And
heard 60.
there's already
about Grenfell, innit?
there's already a £600 million donation.
600 million. I thought
Yeah.
it was half.
They're pledging to. They're pledging to. They're pledging to raise £600 million
It was different companies, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Like
to
L'Oreal,
to
stuff like
rebuild the Notre Dame building. Okay, that's
France.
it's in France, and in England we've had a situation
Grenfell.
2-3 years ago. The Grenfell was it 2 years? 2016, I believe. Was it 2017? 2016.
It was.
I'm pretty sure it was 17, wasn't it?
It was the year we took.
17.
Yeah, bro.
So it was 2 years ago.
Yeah.
2 years ago, and
But that's the
Obviously-
immediate question is: are you gonna compare a tower block to a national iconic?
I'm not
building?
even. So you're comparing. That's what I'm. Let me
That's
land.
what
Let
I'm
me
trying
land.
Cool,
So
cool.
that money was raised
Yeah, listen.
for. I'm listening. That money was raised for a historic.
I'm searching it right now.
Cool. That money was raised for an historic building to be rebuilt, and obviously the Grenfell Tower situation. We've obviously seen the struggle that the people that will like endured that pain
Yeah.
are going through right now in this current moment. Some of them are even being evicted from their temporary homes.
Yeah. Well, you've seen that. Have you seen that on Twitter? Have you seen actual news?
There's articles on it.
Right, yeah.
So some of them are being like evicted from their temporary homes. How long did it take for people to even be assigned temporary homes initially?
It was long in there.
So the question I'm asking us is like just to like stimulate our minds so we can actually talk about stuff that affect.
yeah,
Also on a
that's
day-to-day
current
basis.
issues. Yeah.
The question I'm asking is, what's more valuable, a historic building, or the lives that have been lost in Grenfell? Like, because the same methods and the same energy has not been put forward to making sure these Grenfell victims are being rehoused, making sure that these Grenfell victims have clothes to wear because all of them got burnt, making sure that they're getting a psychological treatment because no one knows what you've gone through if you've gone through a building and there's hundreds of people that have died and you're the one that made it. Do you know how that?
70 people.
But then, if you think about it, because we're the people, aren't we?
Mhm.
From our view, me personally, I'm gonna
Yeah.
think I'd rather see money going towards Grenfell Tower
Yeah.
than say if the Big Ben had burnt down. But then you have to think about it from the view of the government. That's
what I was gonna
That is
say.
a national iconic building.
That's what I was going to say. Exactly what I was going to say.
Governments just think.
I
they're
think-
gonna
So
think
do you
of
think-
finance.
do you-
I think first you have to make the distinction that the French government is not the one raising the
No.
majority of the money.
It's
It's
everywhere.
the individual
people.
companies.
Like,
So there's no individual people that decided to step forward for Grenfell, but there are people that decided to step
No,
forward
there are
for the
French
Notre Dame.
people helping out a French problem.
Yeah.
You have to ask if there are British people helping out the problem of
But there are
Grenfell
British
Tower.
people
Our
raising
British
money
Prime
for the
Minister
Oh,
is
yeah.
helping out.
the British Prime Minister is raising funds for this building to be rebuilt.
Yeah, man.
I'm
for
there's-
Notre
there's-
For Notre
for Notre
Dame.
Dame, and there's another
One
there's
backwards
another
lady.
link I can also make. Do you think this is a capitalist versus socialist situation?
What? No,
How?
because it's got nothing to do with.
It
class.
could.
No.
It does
I know
have
where
to.
he's
Do you know?
coming from
Let me
because,
elaborate. No, let me elaborate because I've made a point and you've contradicted my point. Okay, the people that have suffered from Grenfell Tower, a lot of them, the people that are living in a blocked building,
Yeah,
are working class to lower class people.
100%.
If you're living in a council estate, then you're most likely working class or lower class.
Yeah,
Okay, the government are not going to prioritize those people because they believe this is the situation, the scenario I'm building. They believe that those people are lower than them, and they don't believe that investing in those people to do better for themselves is a justified investment. But for them, a building that no one has lived in, like currently living in, but it's a monument, a historic monument, is more valuable than the lives of lower class people. But the thing is, this building is now going to make these people amount of money, and obviously there must be a situation where they're going to get a return in the investment they're making. So do you think it's a situation between capitalism versus socialism?
I'll say I don't think it is, in the sense that socialism is about collective. Oh, Jesus Christ! Collectivism is like common
I don't
ownership.
think
You know what I
You
mean?
mean like different
It's about
classes?
common
Is
Yeah,
that what
no,
you
I'm
mean?
talking about like classes.
Like different classes.
Yeah.
I don't think
Class division. Do you
the
think it's a class division?
I don't think
No,
it's as
no,
much socialism and capitalism, but I think it's around that area. Like you're gonna think which one's going to
Because
make
socialism
the
is
economy better.
socialism, capitalism is not just a social structure. It's a mindset that people have as well.
Yeah,
because
capitalism is every
yeah.
man for himself.
That's my
Which
my
I
point.
believe in.
That's my point. So
you-
why
you-
am I
yeah.
going to listen? If I'm a capitalist and my perspective is, why am I going to give this person money?
If they're not gonna,
You're not
bring
getting
it
nothing back.
That's my point. If I'm not going to get anything back from
reimburse
it, why am I going to give this person money? Because I feel that they did not work for the money that I have worked for. But now you're going to go and invest in a building that's going to
bring the money
somehow
back.
bring
Yeah,
the
but
money
Whereas
back.
I feel like
socialism
that's-
Because
comes-
there's clauses in these
That's
things.
down to the individual, in the
Yeah.
sense that the Notre Dame building, there are French millionaires helping. Like the guy who owns YSL, the guy who owns, I think, Gucci,
Mhm.
French guy.
L'Oreal.
L'Oreal. He's giving 60 million. Obviously, we don't know if he's gonna give.
Where's Alexander McQueen in
He's
this
dead.
situation?
He's dead.
Damn.
No, the people that work for Alexander McQueen, like the
Yeah, yeah.
CEOs,
Yeah, but
Et cetera, et cetera.
what I'm saying is
Stella
that-
McCartney,
Yeah, let me,
big British designers that are
wait,
working.
Hey, Chief, let me learn.
Yeah.
Let me learn. What I'm saying is though that, say for example, we don't know, he could give 60 million, and that's gone. Do you understand? Or he could give 60 million.
Get
Once it's been rebuilt,
reimbursed.
Get a return.
he gets reimbursed with 10%, 20% profit. Do you understand? That's up to him as a person. If he wants to, that's not asking. Okay.
That's not asking you.
Yeah, that's
Let me
what
say,
I'm saying.
if you were a millionaire now
Yeah,
and Grenfell Tower happened, yeah,
of course.
be honest to yourself. Are
I'm
you
being
giving?
100%. I'm being 100% honest. If I'm seeing a building that's burnt down, tens or hundreds of people have
They're homeless.
not forget being homeless. People have
Died.
lost their lives. Casualties have occurred. I am physically going, because that could be my cousin, that could be my mom, that
But I
could be
think
my
that's
dad.
because you
I've-
personally, you can relate. To
I can
them.
relate. I've lived in a tower block
Yeah,
before.
but say
so
you
I've-
were rich, you have to
Yeah,
think
but
outside
this
the
is all
box.
hypothetical. Like he can't.
No, but
get
he
that
gave me.
mindset. Yeah,
you know,
that's
but
true.
You
You
gave
can't get that
you gave me the question. Like, would I personally, if I was a millionaire, would I go and donate my money to the Grenfell Tower people? I would definitely.
Yeah, but what
donate
I'm
my
saying is, but you like you said, you've been like in maybe not lower class, but like
Yeah.
working class.
You
working class
can
family.
relate to
You
their
can relate to
struggle.
them, but
Yeah.
say someone that's been in the middle class, they've been rich their whole life.
Forget about
They
that.
can't relate to that.
Forget
but
forget
That's the point, though.
forget about that. For someone to actually share, like, for someone to have like human empathy and see people struggling to escape their house because their house is on fire, and it's not the reason why their house is not fire. It's not down to them, but it's down to the government, down to them choosing a cheaper
Cladding.
source of cladding than they should have been on the building. So it's not down to them, and now the government now backtracking. Do you know what do you call it? One of the MPs in West London. I'm not specifically naming her name. I don't know who she is. I just know that one of the MPs spent like 80,000 of the money that was meant to go to the victims on designer clothes.
But she got arrested. I'm sure
She got arrested, but
Yeah,
she spent it on designer clothes.
Don't forget, she has to pay it back. She has
Morally,
to pay it
morally, where does one have to be in their mind, or a state of like well-being for someone to now go and spend money for victims on designer clothes?
Some
But-
people are selfish,
But
man.
but we can't answer that question.
Exactly, because you think about the people who are like feel empathetic to the situation.
Yeah,
Like we do now.
Yeah.
We don't have that type of money.
exactly.
It's,
the people
unfortunately,
Exactly.
we don't.
The people with that type of money,
They're not.
gonna-
They have no
they-
connection,
they have
no
to-
relation.
They have to think.
So do you
How
have
am I
to?
going to keep this type
I
of
think
money?
you do. I think you have to have a
So in order for you
connection.
to feel empathy towards people that are below you, have to have a you have
Not-
to
not even below you,
connection,
like,
but
you-
like,
you're-
you
I
have
think
to
we're
like.
taking-
you
we're
have to
taking
have
the fact
you have to
that-
have a connection. Okay, eradicate that then. In order for you to have empathy towards people that
In the situation.
in the situation that they find themselves in, unfortunately, you have to relate to them. Is that
Why
what
did
we're
they
saying?
find them? Why? You could also say why they're in that situation. People that lived it. Maybe they were brought up there. But let's say, for example, now you walk past a homeless person. Do you feel empathy for every homeless person you walk past?
Empathy, of course I do, but will I take action? That's
Exactly,
different.
that's
Exactly.
the
So
question.
that's like saying
That's completely
them.
different.
Maybe they feel empathy for the people in Grenfell, but are they going to take action?
Exactly.
But I don't
You
think so.
basically
But
said-
I
you
could- I
basically
could-
said
listen.
my point.
No, I didn't because
Precisely.
because you cannot compare a fatality, a casualty, to somebody that's still alive.
What do you mean?
People have died.
Yeah, I get that.
People have died. People have actually lost their
I
lives.
think
But then-
none of us. We should not take away the fact that Grenfell Tower happening was one of the worst things that's happened in British history.
I know. Wait, one sec. Just to reflect on your point initially, I don't want to paint every single homeless person under the same brush, but there's
a stigma.
Not even just that. There's a stigma, but there's a notion that some of them have put themselves in a situation to find this reason. But that's subjective.
That's what you think.
No. Listen, as I said, there's a notion. I didn't say that's what I think. I said that's a general like consensus that people think. But obviously, some people I do think sometimes. But in the case for Grenfell, none of them have put themselves in that situation. None of them decided to choose that cladding, so it's not their fault. Yeah, it was an outside source that decided to to create that problem for themselves. So they find themselves in a situation where they cannot control. Where homeless people, it's all subjective. This homeless person might have fallen into addiction with drugs, and now he's finding himself because on the road. But another homeless person might have lost both of his parents, and now he's on the road. But that's a different situation. You get my point?
But I think we have to understand. I don't think we can blame the government in the sense of comparing the money raised for Notre Dame to the money raised for Grenfell, because firstly we don't know the facts. Secondly,
it's individuals.
If we then point to the rich 1% of English people saying, why are you giving 50 million? It's not their pound. It's not by force. It's very true.
No. It's also everything is subjective. Yeah. So if I decide to give money, I decide. If I don't, I don't. Simple. You can't tell me nothing.
I think, but the discussion you need to have is that. Okay, I know what you mean when you say capitalist.
Yeah, you see what I'm saying? Like, it's all a mindset.
Yeah, but I think I go on the basis that let's take away Grenfell. Like I said, Grenfell's one of the worst things that could happen. I remember seeing the scenes in the morning after. I was
disgusting.
Thinking, imagine that was you. But then let's take it back. Let's look at our mother. Let's look at Nigeria, and the stuff that happened in Nigeria every month, year.
It's mad.
There are tragedies on that.
Go on Facebook. Go on your mum's Facebook.
That's what I'm saying.
See someone's head run over by a car.
But not even that. I'm talking like
it'll be left on the side of the road.
Left on the side of the road.
But there'll be like plane crashes, buildings,
kidnappings of hundreds
all that stuff. Yeah,
girls,
all that
but
stuff.
It's not publicized.
You have to look at it as if you then say, if Grenfell was to happen now, you had the money to donate. You donate right then. But would you then donate to the tragedies happening in Nigeria?
Also, with that, I can talk on that as well. In Nigeria, there's not the infrastructure to create the donations to directly go to the people that are victims. Also, especially in Nigeria, we are all Nigerian here. We all know the problems we have with corruption.
Nigerian is capitalism gone bad.
Niffy. If I decide to go and donate to a specific charity in Nigeria,
it's not going there, bro.
It's not going to the charity.
It's going to an individual living in.
Uncle is going to be there chopping pounded jam and pounded jam ogbono soup with Uncle Belly, and you think I'm gonna donate to my man?
You know that's why some people don't like giving to charity. Even here, they don't like giving to charity.
The money. You see the adverts.
You do realize the CEOs of charities get hundreds of thousands.
Say a charity gets like 500 million donation, only like 16%.
I know because it goes to the people that are working for the charity.
16%.
It goes to the people that are working.
Whole thing.
Yeah,
this is crazy.
So you're essentially paying the CEOs and the higher powers in the charity.
People in charities work for free. I swear.
It's not for free.
No. People in the charity shops.
They work for free.
Yeah. But the actual charity organisation itself,
their CEOs working and getting hundreds of thousands.
That's how they get the money.
16%.
Let me try and fully. Yeah, one sec.
That's the least that they have to give to the actual.
What I'll say is that this is not I don't think this should be let's blame Theresa May. Let's blame the government.
Yeah, of course not.
Understand? Because as bad as Grenfell is, there has been money raised by the government. Because I think we have to understand that the UK's economy is not like. I think we shouldn't get the Nigerian mindset that there's money to be spent. There's money on trees in the UK government. Because obviously Grenfell happening was. Not only that it was a disaster, but no one could have planned it. Do you understand?
No,
and it comes at a time where the government itself were in a bad situation.
Exactly.
Brexit, we didn't know what was going on. We're still in turmoil right now.
There was an election in May. There was an election right now. So the budget hasn't been divided. All that stuff in it. So and you have to understand.
They want to find money. They find money. If
that's true.
Hypothetically speaking, if there was a war tomorrow, Josh, they will find money out of anywhere. The money will stop flowing.
How's she giving money to them?
The value of these people is not high enough for them to actually go out their way to now go.
There are defense budget. There's a budget for if a war's happened.
No,
we can cover it.
I'm saying no. I'm saying if there's a big war, they will find money that's out of the
But
budget.
that's just
That's with anything,
government
innit?
stuff, that's with
But
anything.
I obviously, none of us were in the tower when it happened. None of us can ever understand their pain.
Of course not. We can't
But then,
understand.
I
what
feel
they
like
went through.
because there was money raised by charities. There was a song. I remember. I think Bridge Over Troubled Water, when there was UK artists
Yeah.
coming together.
But that's another charitable organization. Where's the money gone? Where the money that was raised by that song, have we seen?
But then it's not going to us, so we should not know how much has been spent. We have no right to know how much has been spent, how much has been given to them, because it's not concerning
But
us.
we can all say not all the money or not a lot. Or
has gone.
It's not.
But we
it's
haven't
going
seen
to
facts and
them.
figures. It's not up to us to be nosy and say, oh yeah, make sure you pay them. That's for the government.
Think about it this way: if I have now gone out of my way to invest, invest is a bad word because I'm not actually gaining anything from
Donate.
it. But if I've gone out of my way to now give my money to a charitable organization, I now deserve to know whether my money has gone to the place that I initially intended it to
that's
go.
when you deserve it.
Yeah, I know.
If it's a bystander who hasn't contributed to it, they don't have they don't have to know.
Yeah.
If you know what I mean.
If you're paying your taxes, some of that money that you pay goes to the Grenfell people. In it, so
No, your money goes to welfare. Your welfare goes.
Yeah.
If you're paying your taxes, money's going to people who claim benefits, who this and that. But
Who pay the government.
that's why there are lots of people that say people on benefits should not. People from exterior countries should not come into my country and now claim benefits because I'm essentially paying your wages.
Yeah, but I feel like
that's a
That's-
whole
we-
new
we-
And it's a whole other conversation. I don't want to get into that one. But
I feel
that's
we
another.
We can't ignore the fact that there are initiatives. Fair enough, yeah, the situation could be better. We all understand that the government could do more if we really wanted to sort out Grenfell, but we still have to at the same time look at the practicality of it as well, because obviously in rehousing these people, money is going to be lost somewhere. Someone somewhere is now going to be taking a loss for something they did not control.
Like, you have to think,
Do you
there's
understand?
not going to be out of nowhere
A new house, like, you can't-
fresh
you
place
can't
where
blink,
you
there's a
can
new
put
house.
them in the same area. They're going to have to look outside the area.
Around,
People are not going to
yeah.
be willing to leave that area because
There's a reason it's a
jobs are going to
temporary
be
house,
there.
because and there is even a UK housing problem. Do you understand?
But that's why obviously we see specifically a lot of houses being
A
built.
lot more houses being built.
everywhere.
especially in
Yeah.
our area.
Yeah.
In the past, 5 years? Would we say?
How many new housing projects have
So
we
many
seen?
new housing estates.
Because what they're trying to do essentially is
Even the name, but they revamped that area.
I think it's the whole process of
Let's not say, you know what I'm talking about, innit? That area used to be
Oh, KF.
one of
Oh,
the
yeah, yeah,
worst,
yeah, yeah,
probably
yeah.
the worst area in our area.
it's the whole point. I think
Now
it's like it has to do with gentrification as well when it comes to like kicking people, kicking people out.
Donny's covered with the
You know what it
the
is?
furious
Do you
from
know?
Boys
Do you
in
know?
the Hood.
Do you know what gentrification is?
Man has a bit. Man has
Do you know what it is? Do
knowledge on
you
it.
know what it is?
Eh?
Alright, cool.
Like, he hasn't watched Boys in the Hood. man.
Essentially,
I was gonna keep quiet, man.
essentially, gentrification is basically
The idea, the concept,
it's not
proven.
proven, but it's
But
basically a
it's
conspiracy.
something you can infer.
You
that's
can
happening.
you can basically see it occurring. Let me give you a hypothetical so it makes it easier for you to understand. Say I'm living in Woolwich, and what do you call it? It's very run down. I'm now an external investor, either governmental or not,
Yeah.
and I now decide to invest in that specific area and put stuff there that wasn't in place. So different infrastructure, new shops, so
Build a gym.
eradicate gyms,
Houses,
Starbucks,
Mm.
just to revamp the area, make it look
Make it look nicer.
nicer. And now I start creating new apartment blocks around the
Yeah.
area, and now what do you call it? I start buying out different blocks in your estate. Your estate
And
housing,
they do that, the
And
prices
now-
are going up.
and now the prices are going up because I'm
You can't
dictating the
hack the
prices of the house,
prices. You have
and now
to
you're
be-
gonna get kicked out because the rent is going up.
In
So
fact,
now you're because
apparently-
it's a thing. It's a thing with ownership. As black people, a lot of us don't own a lot of things as well.
Yeah.
That's another conversation. So say like you cannot,
Well,
you're not owning. If you're not owning,
As we were talking earlier, you see in Top Boy.
yeah,
It happens in Top Boy.
yeah. So if
So
you're
to
so
Arnold's
if
mum's
you're not
shop.
owning
Okay, yeah.
so if you're paying the rent for your block in your flat, yeah, and you're not owning it, I can decide to dictate the price of which you're paying
That's
for
called
rent.
rack rent.
So
in
now
this,
you,
right?
if you now cannot
So,
if you cannot handle that the price of rent, you're forced to now look elsewhere to where to live, and that will probably lie with outside of London. So now they're pushing people outside of London into not rural but suburban areas, into suburban areas in order to make that area which was once like frowned upon.
Now it is going to be.
Now it's a place where people are glorifying. Essentially,
one of the best examples is probably Brixton.
Yeah,
it's not. There's only certain areas in Brixton which are. But now Brixton is very, very, very gentrified. Yeah. But what was my initial point?
About them culture, socialism, capitalism.
But yeah, with gentrification, it's a thing where like they're pushing a lot of people out of London specifically, and they're trying to create their own.
Because London is where you're going to get the most money from. So you can. And
they're trying to basically maximize how much money they can make from London, because they're seeing people that live in there which they don't want to be living in London, kind of thing.
You want
which is our people.
The people living in your like housing to pay a lot of money.
They want people to be paying. Money. It's common sense.
The capitalism mindset.
Yeah. Just every man for himself. If I can make more money, I'll make more money. I don't give a damn about you lot. Another example is East London when the Olympics happened. Stratford. Those bare apartments being built. The prices of Stratford houses increased drastically, and everyone started moving out. So yeah.
Personally, I think because these rich people, they won't be benefiting from putting any money into Grenfell. If I'm being honest, like, what are they gonna benefit from it? Except for obviously people obviously getting new
peace of mind.
That's all
subject.
But what are they benefiting? Like,
yeah, I know, I understand. That's the capitalist mindset. If I'm not going to benefit, I'm not going to contribute.
If our own prime minister is given to another country
to donate,
and we have Grenfell that's just here, come on, man.
No. But in that, you have to see how much is given to the French government, and don't forget.
We don't have figures.
You need to know the figures.
And don't forget,
well, it's like 500 million already.
In us giving it to them, we're getting something back.
Of course, it's an investment.
It's an investment.
But it's probably long term.
But they're giving it to the Grenfell victims. You can't expect anything back.
That's what I'm saying. Except for peace of mind, like Mali said. So for the victims, not even for yourself.
Exactly.
You have peace of mind already.
If you wanted to compare, say now, God forbid, but say the Big Ben burnt down.
Yeah, how's the parliament?
Do you know? As a parliament,
bare people are chipping into that.
Do you know how quickly that will be rebuilt?
Bare people, because first of all, that is like that building affects a lot of people. Obviously, like that's where they have the MPs have meetings,
and in general, you're getting money from those
tourists.
Tourists come, especially tourists go to where's Notre Dame in France?
Paris.
Is it?
I don't want to talk too tough.
Is it? I'm not trying to make let me take that back.
But a lot of tourists will go to that area.
This is big tourist attraction. Economics, you understand?
It's just like money, economy, and money.
Like, let's think basically, if not
yes, Paris.
Let's say something Notre Dame
gang.
Let's say
didn't embarrass
Smooth.
Everyone, can you keep quiet? So say for example, Notre Dame brings £100 a month. Yeah. For example, so in 1 year, how much is that? What?
1,200.
You can't do that simple
maths. I'm not a maths boy. Everyone knows I'm an English boy, innit? So I'm not really trying to. I'm not really trying to talk on that one.
1.2 in it.
What? 100 times 12. Yeah, 1.2.
Just carry on, man.
It's 1.2 in it.
I saw you go grammar.
100 times 12.
I saw you go grammar.
Hey, back out your calculator and do it.
Yeah, I was right. So there's, say for example now, Notre Dame is stopped. It's burnt down in it.
Yeah.
And then from like January to May, they're renovating it. So that's that's 5 months. So you've lost
£700.
You are putting yourself in the worst situations right
Wait,
now.
I'm confused.
Just stop with the
land.
Land. Just land.
What I'm trying to say is there's a lot of money being lost in it.
Yeah.
So the money that we're gonna give to help, once it's been because don't forget this, it's gonna take years to be rebuilt.
Years, man.
Emmanuel Macron put 5 years on it.
Exactly.
It's gonna extend.
You know they wanna even do like they wanna build like they wanna use some 3D laser thing to try and rebuild it exactly the same as it was.
They want to make it much better.
That's cool, man. But yeah, man.
It's been very productive today.
Today's been a good. I can't lie. This discussion